Hello everyone and welcome back to another Total War Warhammer live Battlecast. In this game we're going to be playing the Wood Elves led by the mighty Mel Gibson, and we are going to be facing off against the Dawi. Definitely going to be a good time for all. So we don't have much of a kiting build. We're actually going to be going right down the center with a bunch of Eternal Guards, trying to take advantage of their armor-piercing values, which actually are not bad. For having 24 weapon strength and having 20 of that be armor-piercing, it is quite good against the Dwarves. So on top of that, we do have some of the new regiments of renown. We do have the Winterheart Guards here, who basically are just an unbreakable group of Eternal Guards here. And man, their stats are actually quite a bit better. So they have 56 melee defense to the 43 and 36 melee attacks, so quite a bit more. On top of that, we do have a Spellslinger with the Lure of Life, and guys, we're actually going to try the Dwellers below and see how it does against the Dwarves. The Dwarves, as you guys know, are one of the factions that tends to kind of bunch up quite a bit, so I'm going to see if we can really take advantage of that. So we do have the Wild Hunters of Kurnus here, Orion's personal bodyguard to provide the guardian ability should he get into a duelist type situation, and we probably want to use them on the flanks at first, though, I think. So let's go ahead, and they do have Vanguard, which is nice, so good. We'll put one up here, and the other one can go on the far side. So even though they don't have heavy armor piercing values themselves, they have 42 weapon strength, only 14 of that being armor piercing. Mobility is still an extremely important stat against the Dwarves, regardless of the circumstance. So definitely want that pressure to get their cannons and get into their thunders and rangers and all that kind of stuff. So we do also have two Hawk Riders, so the Hawk Riders will give us a little bit of ranged utility, and on top of that, we want to charge in and come in the back of the rear line. So once our Eternal Guards engage, we really want to get our Hawk Riders and fly around the back and hit those Longbeards pretty hard. So cool. So I think we're good to party, and yeah, this is a bit of a cool map here. Definitely a lot of fancy positions the Dawi can take. So man, looks like we got some miners over here with blasting charges, so we're gonna go ahead and engage there. I think our Wild Riders can do pretty well for themselves there. So I mean, these guys have really good stats. 52 melee attack. Their melee defense is a little bit low, but you can see they're already starting to rout off these miners right here. So we should probably detach some of these Hawk Riders. So let's put them in group 4 and send them into melee just to help out, so our Wild Riders don't get kind of swarmed right there. And yeah, man, he's got a bunch of miners everywhere. So we're gonna put these guys like this, and looks like, yeah, we're able to kind of shut these guys down. Look at the damage those blasting charges did. That was quite fat. So we're gonna kind of charge them into these guys right now, and hopefully we'll be able to break those bad boys and just form up ranks here in the valley and fight them. So we do get that charge against those miners right there. This other group here can go ahead and jump on those guys, and yeah, some quick fighting. Always fun to see some Dawi Vanguard tactics. So we're able to catch these miners right here, so we'll kind of munch them up. We're not going to do too heavy of an engagement until our cavern position, though. So once these guys break, we're just going to kind of detach, and we can go ahead and pull them over here in the back. Great. So over here, we're able to kind of shut down some of these miners. And we had a really aggressive forward force as well, so I can see my opponent being caught a little bit off guard by that. So it looks like we are taking some artillery fire, so we're going to go ahead and get these guys kind of engaged here. We'll get good old Mel Gibson in melee. He should be able to take those guys apart pretty quick. And these three can go ahead and form up ranks right here. Great, so we do have the Hounds of Gibson as well, which shouldn't be too bad here. It looks like he is bringing some Slayers over here. We definitely do not want any of that action. And in the back, we do have these forces coming around who can hopefully pressure his goodies. So Dwellers below, though, I'm really excited to give it a try in this matchup, and this is actually a pretty cool tactic, kind of forcing me to fight away from his main army, and I kind of missed that Earthblood right there, so it's not going to hit my second group. But regardless, the Wild Riders here have done pretty well for themselves, so we're going to pull them back, and these Hawk Riders, those aren't the right Hawk Riders, let's put these ones in group 5. Let's go ahead and get them up in the forest and switch them back to ranged mode. Great, so we do have the Hawk's Talon now, so we probably want to, he's not terribly spaghettied, so we'll go ahead and get these guys engaged here, these guys engaged here, and we do have our kind of a sneaky troops in the back coming in pretty hot. So we do have the, the Dwellers below, so I'm just kind of waiting for an opportunity to use it. Our Hawk Riders are being watched by these Slayers. We can just have them start, honestly, just shooting at the Slayers. We do have the Hounds of Gibson. Let's go ahead and pop that back there and see if we can get any work done. Usually it doesn't do a ton of damage, but it's still, cool ability. And if it gets a few kills at all, then, I'll take it. So it doesn't look like he was able to kind of keep track of our guys in the back there, so we're able to kind of swarm around. He does have UNGRIM Iron Fist lurking, so we're going to go after UNGRIM. And is there anywhere we really need to heal? This is actually a spot where we have a lot of beat-up troops. So you can see these Slayers are taking some Hawk Rider fire. These ones in the back, now that he's sent his Slayers forward to do other things, you can see he's engaging against these Wild Riders here. We can pull back and then pull those Hawk Riders back in engagement. So Mel Gibson's in pretty good shape here. He's fighting, but do we want to go after UNGRIM? That might not be a bad idea to take advantage of it. He's a really good bully. He has really high melee attack. His stats are pretty outstanding. So the Dwellers below, there's not really a great spot to use it right now. Maybe once these guys kind of engage here. What are these? These are regular Slayers here, so I guess we could pop it right here, and it's going to hit a bunch of those Slayers, which it does pretty much good damage against everything from what I've seen. So our Kurnus Riders are back online, so let's go ahead and have them slam into the back of these guys, these Longbeards right here, and old Daddy Gibson should be making his way over, but we can just have him fight here for now. So good, we do get the Dwellers below. It seems to be doing some decent damage against some of these Slayers. Granted, it probably wasn't the optimal use. And these Hawk Riders, we should just pull them in and have them go shut down those Quarlers on the far side. Great, so everything's going relatively well. I think we've gotten some good rear charges, and let's go ahead and pull those guys into those quarrelers. We don't want to let them free fire, and these guys can go ahead and shut down some of those miners who are returning, but his blasting charge play has been pretty good. I mean, he's been getting quite a bit of damage in there, so let's get this Earthblood right here and go ahead, and that's going to hit both of these Eternal Guards, which is very strong, and you can see the Riders of Kurnus in the back line doing some good work, and these Hawk Riders, man, yeah, they're just continuing to, you know, run amok. So my Eternal Guard line is very thin, though. My opponent did a good job of kind of, you know, shutting down my main infantry core. And where's old Gibson? What's he doing? He's just running off to the Badlands over there. So yeah, so our Hawk Riders in the back and these Riders of Kurnus, we just kind of need to clean up the Dawi back line, because from there we can, you know, with the Hawk Riders we can get some really effective charges and all that kind of stuff. You can see he's pulling some Longbeards back, so we're going to retreat them real quick. And great, looks like these guys are pretty cleaned up. He does have a few Slayers fighting here still, so that's just one Slayer. So let's go ahead and pull these guys around the back and have them kind of hammer this front line. And you can see Orion just doing a great job. And like I said, guys, he's a really, really strong duelist. So we don't really have good range here, so we'll just kind of keep fighting UNGRIM. He has popped the Axe of Dargo, and oh man, yeah, we forgot about the Axe of Dargo. We did not notice that. So we're going to pull back right now. But he does have his Cloak of Isha, so even if he did get low, like, we don't have to worry too much. So great, so let's get these guys re-engaged here. These mobile troops can go collapse on this Grudge Thrower here. Just make sure to shut those bad boys down. And I think we did have some other cav over here that were kind of just sitting idle, so we can go ahead and get them slamming into that cannon. Cool, so Orion, we can just have him start throwing some spears at UNGRIM. I know you guys wanted me to use some of Orion's ranged ability, so we indeed are going to do that. He's gonna throw those spears like an Olympic javelin guy. So cool, so our caster right here is chasing down some of these miners who have routed, and we have one Slayer versus 4 Eternal Guards, the Battle of the Ages. Let's see what we got going on. So we got a bunch of Longbeards here, but they're not going to hold for too long, I don't think. And let's get these guys who are pretty beat up and send them after those Quarrelers in the back. And he's still throwing spears in here at the old UNGRIM Iron Fist. And UNGRIM, yeah, he's fighting 12 Eternal Guard, and man, Eternal Guard have such good leadership. But the balance of power is definitely in our favor at this point. We've got a lot of stuff going on back here, a lot of work going on. So let's go ahead and charge these guys. Let's actually fly in the back. And you guys need to go land on those Quarrelers. That's what I told you guys to do. Cool. In this other group, we can go ahead and just rear charge these guys. It should break them. They're wavering. We have some pretty strong troops left, and honestly, yeah, those spears actually aren't doing bad. Let's see if he makes contact right now. Let's see how his accuracy is. So he's waving it right now angrily at him instead of kind of winding up another throw. And there he goes. All right, he's winding up, and oh, that was pretty good contact. You know what? Let's get in there and fight. Let's give UNGRIM give UNGRIM the battle he wants. So we have some guys left here. We have a few Eternal Guard, and man, their leadership is just so good. Let's get these Wild Riders charging into some of these Longbeards, and these guys have done a good job at routing off those Quarrelers. So let's come over here, and part of me wants to just like give him the Kumite. You know, for any of you guys who've seen the Bloodsport, we just like let him have a fight to the death here. I think that's what we're gonna do. And you know, if UNGRIM's able to defeat the rest of my army, we'll give him the battle he deserves. So yeah, this is gonna be something. So we're just gonna kind of stand and give him a ceremonial. Let's go ahead and degroup everyone, and let's go ahead and take them off fire at will, so they can let them fight and let them fight. So we're gonna give you guys a cinematic showdown right here between these two lords. I don't think that spear hit, man. Looks like UNGRIM's taking it to you. Look at that chop down to 500 HP. So the Cloak of Isha has popped now, but UNGRIM's at 1600. So we're just going to let them fight. We literally just going to keep everyone watching here, and as soon as the fighting's over, we'll go ahead and engage there. So yeah, he's doing some work, but I don't know if Orion's going to survive this one, guys. UNGRIM's he's fearsome. We get a nice attack there, and he takes him down. So all right, so now we just gotta now we'll give him the fate he deserves. So we're going to charge in there, and wouldn't it be funny if like everything in mine just started routing after that? So we're just going to start shooting with some arrows. We'll pull our caster in, and we'll cast the Dwellers below. So we're going to cast it right here where he's... Oh, is that where he's going? I think it's where he's going. Okay, so we're going to cast the Dwellers below and see if it can track him down. You see my opponent dodging right here. So all right, so let's get in there and do a little bit of a charge. We'll get these Riders of Kurnus come in there. He is unbreakable, so we did miss that. My opponent's got the moves, guys. He's got the moves, but... Yeah, so our caster is going to come in the back and run into him, and then we're going to get these guys coming in, and the Hawk Riders should be able to kind of swarm in as well and just polish them off. So yeah, well played to my opponent, I think. I mean, maybe he can beat me still because I gave him that guy there, but nonetheless, I think UNGRIM deserved that one. He's a true patriot of the Dawi. He's at about 600 HP. See, my caster is pretty beat up here, but you know, we just have so much damage coming in. He's probably not going to be able to endure. But yeah, you know, a lot of people like to play the Wood Elves in like a kiting fashion, but honestly, I find the most efficient way is just to use Eternal Guards with some healing, and then you know, you just come in with like Hawk Riders and you know, pound the back, because Hawk Riders are such a like. When they first came out, I kind of like clowned on them pretty hard. I was like, yeah, they're terrible. They're just weird. They don't like, but like if you like micro them effectively and are able to kind of like dive in and get those rear charges with that 45, you know, weapon strength with a lot of armor piercing, mind you, 34 actually, you can really ravage like Dawi troops for sure. So I don't know. That's how I like to play. Most of the games where you kite the Dawi out are just very long and atrocious, and I don't know. It can be fun for the sake of replays, but generally it's kind of stressful to play. So So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. We got to see the kumite between UNGRIM and good old Mel Gibson there. It looks like UNGRIM was able to give it to him pretty good, which was pretty funny. So yeah, well played to my opponent. W Baskin 3. Look forward to seeing you again on ladder. And hey, hopefully you guys enjoyed that live battlecast. Have an excellent night and take care.